Well, here we are. It's hard to know where to start with this one. Some of you may only watch my channel because of the indie games I play, and that is slowly becoming a large focus of this channel as more and more of my videos are overtaken by that subject. And some of you might have been here long enough to remember the first indie game I ever played on my channel, Fruits of a Feather. It was a prototype, although I'm not sure if it was a prototype at the time, where the objective was simply to fly around as a bird and relax. Today, I bring you the full release of that game, Feather, all these years down the line. I'm very happy and very excited to be playing it. I don't want to do as long an intro as I usually do on this one, so I'm just going to press start and get into it. Made by Samurai Punk. And we're in. And the game looks beautiful. Yes. Some of you may notice that I have not done my trademark. Hi. How goes it? Gavin here. And today we're playing Feather. This one's going to be very special because I'm going to be playing this game start to finish, not in one video, and I'll explain why a little bit more, why I won't be playing it in one video in a little bit. I've been waiting for this game for so long that now that I'm here, it's hard to know where to start. So, like I said, I played the prototype for this game, Fruits of a Feather, a long time ago, and I absolutely adored it. It's probably the game that got me into playing indie games on a regular basis. And funnily enough, since then, I haven't really... I followed the game and waited for release, but I would have hated to spoil myself on what has changed and what new things are in the full release. So I haven't really been following any new gameplay mechanics that might come about, or the new length, if there's a story, if there are any new gameplay elements. This will all be new and surprising to me, and I hope it's surprising and enjoyable for you too. I want to thank Nicholas McDonnell, the director of Samurai Punk, for gifting this game to me. Actually, he gave me a code for it. I've talked to him previously over Twitter about Feather and the video I made on it, on Fruits of a Feather, and he remembered me. He remembered how much I love the game, and I'm very grateful for that, and I just want to say thank you for keeping me in mind over the course of Feather's development and getting back to me and giving me a code for the full game. You know, I've had games gifted to me by developers who want me to play them before, and it's still a shock, to be honest. I'm still very grateful for it. Now, one of the major differences immediately from this game as opposed to its prototype is I'm able to play it with a controller, which I'm using right now. And at first I thought, you know, I might lose the swiftness of turning that I originally had with the mouse, which I know a lot of people talk about, but I really don't think has that much of an impact in a lot of games, but I thought it might have in this one, and to be honest, it hasn't. And speeding up and slowing down is actually much easier. I can speed up with the right trigger as I play on an Xbox controller, which will gather me speed as I'm ducking. Oh, we actually went under the water there. I didn't bounce off it. Now, actually, I'm curious, because one of the major things in the prototype was you couldn't actually die or get hurt. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is majorly different and really, really cool. Now, you might have noticed some frame stutters there, for which I apologise. I think that's my computer more than anything, and I think it pushes you back up, actually. I don't think I can stay underwater even if I want to, but it's a really good way to gain height. I'm just going to put that to the test. I'm pushing down. And yeah, it just sort of bumps me back out. Now, I like that. As one of the parts of the appeal of the original game was just how safe it feels. And I'll talk about this a little bit more later on in this video, or maybe in another. But, oh! Aha! Now, this was another thing I noticed in the trailer. Is in this one, there are other birds. And as you launch this game up, it says some of the features require being online. So my curiosity is this another player? Because if it is, that would be truly cool. Because again, I don't know, I didn't know if they were going to be online. I couldn't have imagined that there were going to be online applications. But if that's another player, that is really, really cool. And again, I can slow down with the left trigger and take my surroundings. You see there's a day and night cycle, and it really... One of the things I love about this game is the colour palette, and it just completely transforms during that day and night as it does from dusk till dawn. If I brake and then press right trigger, I get that sort of immediate boost there. I have a call button, which is brand new, doing with X. Oh, and I have a immediate turnaround with Y. So there are a couple of new controls. I got barrel rolls with the bumpers. Oh, this is great. Oh, wow. Now these were... Oh, this is one of my favourite tracks. So yeah, as they were in the prototype, these gates right here are soundtrack changes. In the prototype, I believe there were 3 songs. In this, oh boy, let me tell you, the composer for this game, I apologise if I'm pronouncing this wrong or saying this wrong, Mitchell Pasmans. I've just got to give my love to this guy for a little bit, because he has... Hang on. Sorry, I want to listen to this song a little bit more. He has his soundtrack up for the full version of this game on his bandcamp. I will link that in the description, and let me tell you guys about this soundtrack. It is beautiful. It is easily, immediately, one of my favourite video game soundtracks ever, and he deserves a lot of recognition for it because it's beautiful, and it's really relaxing, and it's really varied. It's one of those soundtracks, you go into it, you're going to be putting them in order, your favourite to... I want to say least favourite, but that would still be unfair, as there isn't a single bad song on that soundtrack, and that's why it's one of my favourites. And this song itself, which I realise I'm overshadowing, I do apologise. The song itself is one of my favourites. I love that melody jump right there. And I will hopefully be reveling in the soundtrack a little more over the course of these videos. One of the reasons I have decided to do commentary is because if I'm going to play this game, I do want to add something to it, you know, if I'm going to put it on my channel. Otherwise, there'd really be no incentive for you to buy it yourself and have your own pure experience with it, and that's kind of what I want you to do if you enjoy the look of the game. Now at the moment, I'm just flying around, and I'm not sure if they're still here, but in the prototype demo, you had... I don't necessarily want to call it a goal, but I'll call it a goal. And that is, there was a limited number of fruits hanging from trees and sitting in bushes that you could fly around and collect, just as something extra to do, something to interact with if you were so inclined. But one of the reasons I took to the game so much and I loved the prototype so much was because it's one of the few games and one of the few times I can think of where a game gave me a goal, and if I didn't complete that goal, I would just stay in the state that the game was currently in, and I felt no inclination to complete that goal at the time. Like, I didn't feel rushed to do it. If I felt like doing a bit of collecting here and there, I'd go and, collect some more fruits. If I just wanted to relax, I'd fly around, and it got to the point where I'd be starting a new game before I'd even collected all the fruits, and getting to the point where I really didn't care if I did collect them all. And that was very important to me at the time. It's very important to me now. And one of the reasons that is I'll talk about a little bit more. So, this is one of the tracks from the original prototype. But it looks like almost all the tracks have their own podium in this base area as it is. So you might be thinking, Gavin, you've been flying around the same place for 12 minutes. And you know what? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Let's just keep flying. Let's just fly together. Don't think of this as a LP. Don't think of this as a walkthrough. Just think of this as... I'm not sure. Think of it as whatever you want it to be. I'm just here flying around. You're here along for the ride. I'll continue the game if there's levels, if the island changes, if there's a story. All this, I don't know. And if it comes around, we'll come across it. But if it doesn't, we'll just fly around. And that's sort of one of the things I really like about this game, and I wanted to play. I wonder if I can land, because he does a sort of... No, it doesn't look like it, which is fine. You couldn't land in the prototype, I just got curious. Oh wow. Just a little spinny boost. Do some tricks. So because of whatever's in the field of view, it does unfortunately run a bit better at other times, and that's entirely down to my computer. That's not down to the game. Obviously, because I'm running other programs to record this, it's not going to run as amazing, for which I apologise. But again, one of the things that drew me to this game is, look at it. You know, it's not high graphics, it's not 4K super smooth textures. It's... I think I either said this in the original video for this, or in the video for a similar game I played called World at Peace, but art design, and when you're coming up with a style like this, a large degree of it comes down to knowing when to stop, when to say, you know what, that colour looks a bit blocky, the edge looks a bit sharp, and that's okay, that works, that's the style I'm going for. And it does work, it works in a lot of cases. It works in the cases for this game, it works in the case of A World at Peace, which was another brilliant little indie title that got a sequel by the developer, actually, which I don't think I've played. I may have, I can't really remember. I mean, played for the channel. I definitely played it in my free time. But this kind of style, this minimalist style, it's becoming a lot more prevalent in games. And you know what? Minimalist gameplay is becoming a lot more prevalent in games. Hey, there we go. I got a fruit. Oh. So if I do bump or something, it does seem like he takes a bit of a knock, and sometimes the screen goes kind of black and white. Still not sure if I can die though, which I'm pretty sure you can't. I like to, I never say never. I always like to statistically leave some leeway, but I'm gonna say that you can't, because that's not the point. And I think I understand the developers enough to know that they knew that they didn't want that to be the point. There's so many games out there already where the point is a struggle, the point is a challenge, and if you're going to have a challenge, you need to be detrimented for it. You need to be punished in a way for failing that challenge. Oh wow. Oh wow. And sorry, this is another one of my favorite tracks. Oh. Okay. But yeah, a lot of developers, they make games with that mindset that obviously if you're going to have it be a challenge, there's got to be some punishment for not completing the challenge, or not doing it well, or not doing it right. And that's great, there's... Oh, look at this right here. There's lots of reasons to play games. And when a game presents a challenge, it gives you a chance to hone your skills, hone your hone your instincts. It gives you a chance to practice at competition, which a lot of the real world and its experiences will force you into. You will be forced to compete and fight for sometimes even basic things, but more often than not just the things that you really love that are hard to get, and you have to fight to get them. And I get why that is. I get why things shouldn't just be handed to you on a silver plate. But a lot of games nowadays, they have this mentality, and they have this mentality of challenge and competition and difficulty and proving yourself and conflict. And it's sort of antithetical to a lot of reasons why someone might play games, because that might be great if it's the kind of thing you love. That might be your way of blowing off steam. But for people like me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, it's nonsensical to leave your house, spend all day out in the real world fighting, getting stressed, getting into conflict, having to fight for absolutely every little thing, having just all these challenges and detriments just piled on top of you. And then you come home and you switch on your computer or your console or whatever, and now you've got to do all that again? Now you're playing a game that makes you do all that again? That's not really the kind of game I want. And even though it's a point I started about 3 or 4 minutes ago, I think the developers felt this, they understood this, and they wanted to make a game that combated this. And so what they did is they made a game that presents no challenge, presents no conflict, it requires no skill level, you don't have to try or fight for anything. And that's okay. There should be games like that. There should be games like this. There should be more art like this. There should be more pieces of media like this. There should be more activities like this. More activities that aren't conflict based, or at least more focus on the ones that aren't. Because, like I said, that's sort of my philosophy in games. That's why I play a lot of these indie games that focus more on style and relaxation and an emotional message. And I think that's why, being the first indie game I uploaded to this channel, and being one of the first I ever played, downloaded from a website, some short free experience that someone had just poured so much effort into and then uploaded for free for people to enjoy. I think this is why this game resonated so hard with me, because I have that philosophy. You know, it's hard sometimes. It's hard enough to step out your front door and just try and win at challenges in every little thing. And I want this kind of game. I want this kind of thing to come home to. And I think it's perfectly fitting as well that it focuses on a bird. Especially for me. Again, this game speaks to me on far more levels than just the philosophy of taking away the hardships and difficulty of life and having difficulties and challenges pushed on you daily, and the way this game sort of combats that to just say, here's a world, here's you, you're completely safe in it, you're completely in control. You know, it spoke to me, let's see, yeah, nice. It spoke to me in more ways than just that. Yeah. I'm quite a, I don't know the word for it would be, but I'm quite a birdophile. In that I really love birds. It's one of my favorite things. I just really love birds. If I, you know, people ask you what you want to be in life, and if we were going to be completely unrealistic, and just the answer could be absolutely anything. If you could be the moon, if you could be the breeze, if you could be a superhero, you know, my answer would be a bird. I envy birds, I really do. I live near a body of water, a quay. Now this is a new track that I haven't heard before. Huh. So yeah, I live near a body of water, and I see geese, swans, herons, pigeons, sparrows, thrushes, and all that kind of thing. Bird. They all gather around this water daily, and so I see birds every day on my walk to work, on my walk to university, and I'm really happy and lucky that I get to do that, because I do just love to watch birds, and that I get this variety next to a location that they live next to, and they eat there and they sleep there, and I get to see them going about their business. Recently, I've been collecting bird pins, actually, for where I work. There's a charity donation box where you can pay £1 and collect a pin. And there's all kinds of animals, but I'm just out for the birds, man. I tell you, I am trying to collect all those birds. And I've got about 9 or 10 now. And I just proudly put them on my jacket to be like, hey, I really like birds. For whatever reason. I doubt other people care, and they kind of look at me and go, oh, look at that weird fucking 27-year-old student with a bunch of birds on a woolly cardigan in the middle of summer. What kind of freak? Who raised him? But I do. I got like 10 species on there. Unfortunately, the collection doesn't include all species of birds. Just a little insight there into how much I love birds. And it's, you know, it's a cliche, but it does come down to the fact that the thing I love about them more than anything is just the freedom. Oh! I found something. These are clouds, are they? It throws you all the way up into the sky. And you get this huge view of the island. Oh, wow, they did a thing where... Oh, yeah. Like, you actually, like, tunnel through the cloud now. Oh, that's amazing. I don't even know where I am. I could be anywhere. Wow. That's a nice little detail. I haven't actually talked much about the island, if anything. There are a lot of similarities to the original island. If you played it enough, you know, I can definitely remember this sort of clearing here with these trees. This is very familiar. The lighthouse is gone, replaced with the ruins over there. Rock formation is very similar. This is entirely new. There was nothing here. Same with a couple of these other ruins. I don't think I've seen full-on, just pure bright blue sky without a mist yet. I'm kind of hoping that's not gone. I'm kind of hoping there's multiple weather conditions, because I really did like that completely blue sky. I do apologise if you're seeing that steam thing right there. I rarely use steam, to be honest with you. This log is new, although the river is not. I still don't know if I'm able to collect the fruits, although I did eat a couple earlier. I'm not too worried. This is not new, but completely redesigned, this ruin right here. That's my own trail, I think. There's sort of a... this brazier right here. I wonder if I'm ever able to... Oh! I did, Oh! Ooh, I don't want to set myself on fire. Okay, we're figuring stuff out. And we're doing it all in our own time. We're just... Oh. Oops. I think that's a rewind, to be honest with you. So we lit one, let's see if we can light the other. And we'll just do it all on our own time. So there's one. I pulled back there, and I'm holding it. If I hold... Yeah. He'll perch on ledges. Nice. That's awesome. And there's the second one lit. Let's have a turn around and have a look at that. And a little fire erupts. Is the other one still lit? Is it... Oh. Trying to get them both lit at the same time here. Oh, there's multiple ones. There's some up here. I do apologise for any sniffles. I've not been in the best... Oh. That was me making a grave mistake. I've not been in the best condition lately, physically or mentally. But, oh, can I? So there's 3. Now I'm just doing this out of curiosity. Will something happen? Will it not happen? Who knows? Who cares? It's fun. It's fun to figure out, I'll tell you that. And if we don't figure it out now, we might figure it out later. Got all the time in the world. And he'll just perch on anything, look at that. As I was saying, I was interrupted as I talked about my love of birds. I really do just like envy them. You know, I envy their freedom. You just pick up your wings, you fly anywhere and everywhere. Maybe not anywhere, depends on the species. This is why my favourite species is the wandering albatross, which I'm going to get a bit nerdy on you with birds here, is the bird with the largest wingspan and also has the capacity to travel the furthest distances and stay in the air for the longest amount of time. Months a wandering albatross can stay in the air without needing to stop, as I'm unfortunately having to do. And why would you? I wouldn't stop, you know. Have the world at your oyster. I'd just stay up there the whole time. Yeah, something a little like that. I'm sorry, I got in a very melancholy state there. I just wanted to enjoy the flight. I don't think I'm alone in envying birds. I think we tend to envy animals a lot as humans. Especially when you're just overcrowded on a daily basis with human-specific exploits. You know, the arguments and social issues and implications. And these are all good to talk about, they're all good to fight for. Some days, some weeks, sometimes some years, it just gets to be a lot. And you kind of want to break from it. Unfortunately, we can't just fly away somewhere. So we do things like play video games. But of course then you run into the problem I already talked about, where the video games you play just teach you to get into more conflict, more social issues. But then if we're lucky, every so often a game like this will come along. And we will actually get a break from all that turmoil every now and again. Oh! Until something very strange happens. And I'm finding it hard to do anything. I'm just going to push up until I see what goes on. I'm clearly under the water here. And I think what happened is I glitched through a wall which is attached to the side of the water. And now it's mistaking the air for the water and the water for the air. So it won't let me go up into the air. I can sort of fly in this narrow part right here, and I can butt against this rock. Unfortunately... Oh, there's a failsafe. Oh, well, hell yeah, I appreciate the hell out of that. And again, the game crashed. The game... Well, not crashed, but it got into quite a pickle there. And things seemed to go quite wrong. But we didn't panic. We didn't panic. And we're back to normal. We're back to relaxation. It's a feeling I don't get very often anymore, even with other video games. You know, I feel compelled to give them effort and give them my all, and when something goes wrong, I feel like it's deterring me from what I'm supposed to be doing. And then I hate that I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. I hate that that seems to be a running case in all aspects of life. That you just feel like you're always expected, you're always supposed to be doing something. Supposed. How about you just do your thing? How about you just, for a little while, just be left to just do stuff? Not good stuff or bad stuff or important stuff or pointless stuff, just... You know, birds and other animals, they don't worry that they're supposed to eat or they're supposed to travel. They're supposed to rest. They just kind of do those things because it's their inclination and it's what would make them happy there and then. I don't think we get that freedom as humans at all. Very rarely, at least. Maybe some special folk. Oh wow, look at these colours. Yes, I am using a controller. Thank you, Steve. Oh wow, we're just going through a whole spectrum now. So I hope you don't always do what you feel you're supposed to. I hope sometimes whoever's watching, whoever's listening, I hope you get the chance to just do what you think you want to do at that time. Oh, I think I saw another bird fly through here. Can we catch him? It'd be really neat if these were other players. In the trailer you do see multiple birds flying all at the same time. If you are another player in this game, hello. It's nice to see you. I hope you're having a good time. Wow, look at all these birds right here. Oh, that's shading on the rock. Oops. Oh well. See if we can play catch with this bird. I think he's doing the same thing I'm doing. Okay, dude, you win. You win. Oh wait, I know. Oh, I'm chasing my own tail. Darn it. Isn't that just how life goes? If you got no one around to play with, you make yourself your own friend. That just sounds sad, but hopefully you get what I mean when I'm trying to say that. Chasing my own tail there, and I had plenty of fun doing it. I do see another bird though. Good luck out there, friend. Yeah. That was nice, actually. And again, you know, that's how birds get to be social. They just sit down next to another bird, drink from the same water, and that's all they need. I don't have to go through any of these bullshit conventions that humans have to go through. I apologize. My brain just pooped. All these fucking rules you gotta follow, all these games you gotta play. You have to do that as a bird or any animal. Sometimes I really love and appreciate the differences and the complexities of human nature, because it's what leads to the sort of complexities of the art we make. But then at the same time, it's like, if you have difficulty navigating or understanding any of that, then you just get lost, and then you just kind of wish everything was animalistic, understandable, simple. Oh, we've not been in this field before. As I was saying earlier, you know, another thing with this game is it's true in the way it captures. I mean, it's a bird simulator. It would be out of its focus to give you a goal. Birds don't have goals. Humans, on the other hand, we're over flooded with them every day. You wake up, you got a list of 10 things to do that you thought about the night before. Even if you get through them all, even if you mark them all off, by the time you go to sleep again, you've formed an entirely new checklist that you got to do the next day. Birds don't have a checklist in their head. So why give the player a checklist? You know? Why give a person, why give the player who's playing this game just one more thing that they've got to do? No. Birds don't have a checklist. This is a bird simulator. Don't give the player a checklist. And this right here is another one of my favourite tunes from the soundtrack. And that echoes what I was saying before about feeling like you're supposed to do stuff, because a lot of the stuff that's on our checklist, we don't want to do it, and even if we do want to do it, it's because everybody else in society told us that we should, and that we should want to do them. And whether you want to do them or not, it's still this pre-planned thing that you've had to put onto a list and make note of and be like, okay, this is what I've got to get round to doing. This is a thing that I've planned for and I have to make plans for. Just make sure some of the things that you want to do with your life, you don't pre-plan. And I know that's kind of self-contradictory in that you're saying, or I'm saying, that it's things that you're waiting to do that you shouldn't be waiting to do, but what I mean by that is, if you're out and about, or if there seems to be something that you might like, you're kind of scared to do it. But either way, in either of those circumstances, it's something that takes your fancy. You don't know if it'll be good or bad, but it's something that you think you might like and you might want to do. Just let your inclination take you. Just do it because it's the thing that you want to do right then and there. Don't think about, adding it to a list. Oh, that's something I'll get round to doing someday. Because you might never get to do it. Because you might overthink it, or because something else might get in the way. Just do it. If you're on a street and you see something and you're like, I'd enjoy that, just do it right there. Just experience it. You might never get another chance. A bird wouldn't plan to do it later. That's what I'm saying. I'm probably talking bullshit, but I'm just talking out loud. I'm just giving my thoughts. I'm just being honest. Just every so often I'll see one of the geese or the swans down on the quays where I live, and they'll fly and they'll dive and they'll make a big splash in the water and they'll flap their wings and they'll glide across the surface, and I'm like, there's no way that bird had a thought process leading up to that. I didn't go, oh, I might play later today if I get the free time, or even 5 minutes earlier go, oh, I wonder if anyone would notice if I did this big splash. Just kind of did it because it felt like it. It didn't worry about what all the other birds thought of it. And I'd be a hypocrite if I said I didn't hesitate to do a lot of the stuff I want to do, because my human side kicks in, and this is why I envy birds. And I'm just telling you, I'm going to try not to worry so much about the consequences of the things that would make me happy, even just social ones. Oh, what would people think of me? What would people think of me if I did this? Oh, can I, does this represent me right? I shouldn't care so much. I don't think you should either. Oh, will people think I'm nerdy if I do this? Will people be attracted to me if I do this? Will this be good for my health in the long run? And yeah, that sounds bad, but I live a very you only live once mentality. I know that sounds very cliche, and I would phrase it a different way if I knew how, but I hate that if I see an opportunity and I don't go for it because I overthink it. I hate that, because if I don't get another chance to do it, I don't believe in an afterlife or another life. That may have been my last chance, because I do only live the once. So, I'm trying in the last while in my life, the last year or two, I have been trying to not worry so much and make sure I don't miss out on those opportunities when they come. And I could be better. I think we all could. I don't think anyone dies at the age of 89 on their deathbed going, hey, I'm perfect. We could all be better. But there are hurdles I can overcome right here and now, and I'm trying to do them. And I think if I went into these situations with the freedom of mind that a bird has, the freedom of action, if I went into them just thinking, well, not thinking at all really, just doing, then I'd be a lot happier. I'd get a lot more of them done. Because I won't be planning. I won't be thinking about what I'm supposed to do in that situation. I won't be putting a challenge on myself. I won't be trying to overcome anyone or beat anyone to anything. I'd just be doing it because I want to do it, and I want to be free, and I want to be happy, and it would make me happy. And I'd enjoy the limited freedom that I have with the limited time that I have. I used to hate seeing people that just did whatever they wanted on a whim and it worked out for them, because I'd overthink and overplan and I'd pour so much time in and I'd think, how is that fair? That I held back, I did all the good things that I'm supposed to do, and they just jumped into it and they got it. How is that fair? And then I sort of got older and realised that's kind of the way to do it. It's moderation. I was overthinking. And I was mad at other people that I took things too seriously and I was too scared to do things. And it wasn't that they didn't put any effort in, it's that they had moderation. I was too overcritical, I was too overthinking, overplanning. I was too worried about if I faced a challenge, I'd fail it. And you shouldn't be so worried to face a challenge, but if you are, I understand, because, well, that's the point of a challenge. People present it so you can win, and yes, you can learn things from failure. But when everything's a challenge, like I said, you don't want to fail and fail and fail and fail over and over again. And a lot of these people, I realise now, they just weren't looking at these things they got, or these experiences they had. They weren't looking at them as challenges. They were just looking at them as things to do right then and there that would make them happy. And that was my hang-up, that I looked at it as this challenge, that everyone is always competing, whereas some people just kind of decide to do things that make them happy. And I did come to the realisation of that. I did come to the realisation that it was my hang-up. What I need to do now is implement that technique into my own life. It's not enough for me to just think it. I need to do it. I need to stop going into things and thinking of them as challenges. I need to just go into them thinking of them as things that would make me happy then and there. So I'll keep trying to do that. And if you're worried about failure, if you're worried about things being a conflict that you have to overcome, if you're worried about being too tired to rise to a challenge, try not to think of it as a challenge. Try not to think of it as a goal. You don't have to get to a game over screen. You don't have to collect all these certain amounts of things in life to have somebody say, "You're a winner, game over." Don't think about the game over. Don't think about all the things in life you have to collect. Just think about the flight. Just think about doing the action that would make you happy right then and there. I'll do a barrel roll. Nice. And this is a beautiful looking game. I think the changes to the island are all spectacular. They've built on an already solid groundwork. They haven't over-tweaked it. That's an issue that was really on my mind, that they could have really gone, if we're going to do this, we need to up the graphics, we need to up everything. And they didn't do that. They didn't take it too far. It's what I was saying about they know when less is more and they know when to stop. And it paid off because it looks beautiful. They did not over-tweak it. This extended soundtrack is phenomenal. Again, Mitchell Pasmans, whose entire soundtrack for this game will be in the description. The link for the game will also be in the description. I like this little extra movement of the speed glide. I like the implementation of the controller. Very nice. I don't think there's an update here I don't like. All they did was take such a simple idea, such a simple game, that they executed phenomenally, and they just added quality of life things to it. These are definitely other players. We're all just playing together. We're all just flying. We're all just escaping together for a little bit. All just out of the challenge and the hustle and bustle. Hard to find other players in life sometimes, other birds. Wow, look at this. Nice that we can come to a lonely, isolated island like this and just fly around together for a little while. Sometimes when I play a game that has a small user base like this online, I wonder what these other people are like, where they are, what time it is where they are, why they're playing this game right now, if they're enjoying it, if they're falling into it, how long they have to play before they have to go off, go to work, go to school. Do they live alone? Do they live with their parents? A lot of the times all we see of multiplayer online is sort of the, you know, the funny, memey side of people shouting at each other, playing FPSs, and oh, your mum this, and yeah, suck that. And I don't think the idea that these are other people gets through very often. But funnily enough, all I can think of as I fly around in this game is, you know, who are these other people? If they are other people. I'm relatively certain these are other people. The game did mention online capabilities. Looks like they're all sort of going their own way now. Flying off in their own directions, in their own paths. Godspeed, fellow birds. Well guys, it's coming up to just over an hour. And to be honest, my audio recorder in the background looks like it has been screwing up something fierce. Hopefully it hasn't. If it has, I will tweak it to the best of my abilities. Maybe cut around this video a little bit. Hopefully it hasn't, and you got my full commentary there. I also hope you've enjoyed the game in the background, the music. And if you want your own sort of just silent experience with this game, like I said, I did want to try and add something to it. I did just want to upload raw gameplay. Regardless of if I were talking over it or weren't talking over it. If you need a game like this, and I know I do, which is why, again, I'm so grateful. Thank you to Samurai Punk for gifting this to me. I'm so happy it's out, to be honest with you. If you need a game like this in your life, it's there in the description. I highly recommend getting it. Can you do much for... At the minute it's on sale, it's $9. A lot of people might argue no. I'd argue it's not about that. I'd argue for what it means and what it represents and what you get out of it depending on the person you are. I'd argue that the intent and the artistry that it was created with, both in sound and vision, that's undersold. You know, that is an underpriced experience. It is highly worth that. Pick it up. I recommend it. And hopefully this isn't... I don't intend on this being the only video for this game. I'm going to be using it in the future for multiple reasons, which I'll hopefully talk about again at some point. Oh! I got knocked back into the water there, and it slow-moed on top of slow motion. I appear to be caught in an infinite underwater loop. Huh. I just try to... There we go. I recommend picking this up if it's your kind of thing. It's definitely my kind of thing. So few games like this that I find. And I will be playing more of it on this channel. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoy this video. Even in terms of my indie game videos, it's very different to the kind of thing I usually upload. I was thinking of making this kind of an update video, but I don't want to sully it with that, because it kind of puts a timestamp. Excuse me, it puts a timestamp on it when you're talking about certain projects underway. So I won't, and I'll just leave it there for now. I do hope the audio came out okay for this video, because the music's beautiful and I've had a lot to say. If not, no matter how this video's turned out, I just want to say thanks for watching. I just want to say, again, a massive thanks to Samurai Punk, Nicholas McDonnell, Mitchell Pasmans, and the whole team for this game. And I want to thank you for watching. I hope it's been an experience, and I hope that if I play this game more in the future, it gives you more experiences. And if you pick it up for yourselves, it gives you even more experiences. Look forward to playing more of it. I look forward to playing more indie games in general. Look forward to uploading more as summer comes round. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.